ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it. Taking bad hits, taking bad hits. Subscribe
I approve. Hey, what's up you guys, ShartimusPrime here, doing another Hot Toys figure review on the Hot Toys Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope movie masterpiece 268 Stormtroopers 1/6 scale collectible figure set. If you're trying to get these Stormtroopers, you can pre-order my big. Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below. Gotta give a big thanks to my friend Bruce for making this review possible. If you want to see the latest from Hot Toys, check the link in the description below. And I really like this packaging. Very simplistic. You get black and gray right here. Nice silver for the Star Wars logo. It's actually raised. It says Stormtroopers right there at the bottom, and on the side you can see the black and gray, and it says Star Wars Disney. And then you get some credits and licensing stuff, and then Star Wars right there. Then on the top and on the bottom it just says Star Wars. And then we can do the Hot Toys plop. Come on, Hot Toys plop. There it goes. And you get this really cool insert right here with the two Stormtroopers, and I really like this white and the black writing right there. It looks really nice. And you just pull this flap down and you can see the Stormtroopers right over there. Alright, let's get to it and crack these things open. So here are the Stormtroopers out of the packaging, and these two figures are very identical to each other. You can see there is one shorter one, and this is the taller one over here. I think what they had done was they had cut the torso section just a little bit shorter. They do share the same parts. I actually went through the trouble of measuring the helmets, and they are the same exact size. I love Hot Toys for their paint detail, and just due to the nature of the characters, there's like no paint detail on these, you know, except for the weapons and the bases. So they look pretty cool as far as the sculpting goes. Now I do think these bases are pretty cool, even though I'm sick of the adjustable cradle, which I'm not a big fan of. I prefer having a clip. They serve their purpose, you know, that's not a complete waste. And I do like how we get this little plaque right here that says Star Wars Stormtrooper, and they're the same. They both say the same exact thing on them. And very nice paint detail right here on the base itself. It does look great. You get these speckled white dots and these speckled gray dots throughout. This whole gridded section looks really cool. And then you attach these little bases right here. I do get a little bit of, you know, plastic scuffage a little bit from doing that. You can actually put this anywhere you want to on this thing, but, you know, the instructions show you putting it right over here. And then another cool thing about these is you can remove these plaques right there. You can just take them off, and you can just set it up like that if you wanted to. You know, you could remove the stands. You got some display options going on, so I think that's pretty rad. So each of these figures come with 3 pairs of hands plus 1 extra open palm for the left hand, and they're sculpted pretty well. And they're all detailed and sculpted really nicely with this cool rubbery kind of look, so I think that's pretty dope. Nice little wrinkles in there. Looks pretty good. They come with an extra set of wrist pegs in case you break those. Now, as I'd mentioned, the only paint detail we're getting with this figure set is on these weapons over here, which look cool. We do get 2 blaster pistols, 2 blaster rifles, and then we only get 1 heavy blaster, which is really cool. Now, the blaster pistols don't have any little functions to them or anything, but they are painted very well. I love that brown paint on top of the black. A lot of nice silver dry brushing on this too. Sculpted out very nicely. Same great paint work right here on the blaster rifle. I love the brown right there. Looks really rusted. Looks really weathered and everything. I'm digging it a lot. You can see the little clip right there on the side. And the scope looks pretty good. And you do get this function right here with the stock. So there's this little peg right there that plugs in over here. Then you just swing this all the way back right here. So you have a hinge right there and a hinge on the back over there too. I really like this a lot. You can just fold it right back up and it pegs right in. As you can see here, each of the blaster pistol and the blaster rifle fit into the pouch right there on the left side of the Stormtroopers. I like how these are made with this fake leather material. It looks really great. And they have these magnets right here where they connect. So it just stays together like that, so I think that's pretty cool. I wish these straps right here connecting to the belt though were a little bit stronger. Just having those 2 little straps right there kind of make me a little scared. And the heavy blaster is by far the coolest weapon out of the 3 of these. This is just incredible. I love the brown paint on the back of it. Nice rivet sculpted in there. Very cool dry brushing. The handle looks great. A lot of nice detail with all these circles sculpted in right there. This is looking dope, man. Really digging this a lot, and it has functionality too, so you can pull this. This is spring loaded, so you can do that. Now it feels like this piece right here is supposed to flip up. You can see there's an actual hinge right there, so it looks like that's supposed to function, but as I try to pull this apart, it looks like this is glued together. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you're supposed to flip this up. You do get a couple of sights though. You can lift this up over here, then you get another sight that has 2 hinges right there and right there, and then you could bring those together. So that looks pretty cool. You can just look down like that. Looks pretty sweet. And then right here you get this functioning piece that comes all the way out and then you can separate these legs right here. Ooh, spread the legs, and then it'll just rest right there, and that looks really cool. And you can rotate this side to side too, so, and you can still swing these outward or move them inward a little bit more. Very easy to position this any way you need to, and then you can just put it back, and it has that hole where it goes right in there. Now this figure set comes with the MSE6 Imperial Mouse droid, which is a pretty cool accessory. Not the greatest thing in the world. It's sculpted nicely. I like the black. There's no real paint detail on it, nor does it really need it. These wheels do function, so it does roll okay. Yeah, he rolls nicely. It's kind of tricky to tell, but these are the same exact helmet over here. I did measure both of them. They are 2 inches across and 2 inches up and down. I do think that these are pretty well made. I do like this glossy white plastic that they chose for this. It really does remind me of the movies. But the thing is that these are lint magnets. As you can see, you know, just a little bit of lint right over here. So, but the paint came out very nicely. I do like how it looks. So I think they did a good job with this, but you know, just a little irritating with the lint thing going on. This is all just painted on here. These little lines right here are not sculpted in there. But you know, I feel like they have the proportions right and everything for this Stormtrooper helmet, and it looks pretty good. Now the instructions indicate that you're not supposed to remove any of these panel pieces, nor are you supposed to remove the head. I was able to remove the head on these though. They do pop off pretty easily. You can just pop it right back on there, so that's not a big deal. But yeah, these shoulder pieces, they're all tied together with like these elastic straps that are attached to each other, so it's all connected. You're not supposed to take off any of the armor. I haven't done any of that yet. You can see that these all shift around into place so you can get your articulation going on. Removing the hands in and out, as I had mentioned, is kind of a pain, but you just got to bend the elbow at 90 degrees and then apply pressure right here at the elbow. If you have it all straightened out, you know, things are going to shift around on you as you apply pressure right there on that wrist peg. Now I do have some paint wear, especially on the blue dot. You can see that's supposed to be completely blue. Same thing on the taller one over here. Some of the paint came off, and I really don't like that because I wanted to be able to get an ab crunch out of this guy. And you could also see the size difference between the ab sections, this obviously being the taller of the two of them. And the cylinder right here on the back pops off very easily, which does look nice. These are sculpted and painted very well. You have some sculpted screws right there. Get that flat gray plastic, and then these two metal pieces right here, and you're supposed to hook these right here onto the strap. This strap is removable. It's held together with Velcro. Now it is very difficult to see, but there is a lot of scratching going on over here from this cylinder piece. I wish they made these hooks made out of plastic or something, because yeah, that is a lot of scuffage going on right there, and that's very irritating for me. We can just put this right back on right there. I think this looks pretty good. I don't know, these darker settings actually make you see the figure a little bit better. You have these little pieces right here that dangle around, and then looking at the rest of the figure, it's obviously sculpted quite well. Nice wrinkles right over here in the boots and everything. Just flat black at the bottom. Looking at the back of this guy, doesn't look too bad. Now both of these figures do have the same amount of articulation. He can look up that much, and he can shift forward and then move his head down. You also get side to side rotation over here, and you do get some neck pivot. I was able to get him on his belly using the heavy blaster, as you can see in this picture right here, but I had to completely remove the head and then kind of rest it on that ball joint right there. So you are able to make him look up enough where you can be using that heavy blast, and there goes the cylinder again. As I said, these pieces right here you can shift around, so you can move this up, and that allows the shoulders to move outward. You can rotate them forward. They do have an armpit joint in here. You do get some bicep swivel in there, and there is elbow rotation here as well. And of course, it meets at 90 degrees, and then you have the wrists that move side to side, and they hinge up and down. Now the torso articulation is very limited, and what I've tried to do is, you know, tried twisting it side by side, and it doesn't really want to move so much. Crunching it forward and back, I just get a little bit of an ab crunch going forward and back. Barely any pivot here either, and as I've already explained, the little torso movement I've been able to get out of this did cause some paint rubs, so that's extremely frustrating for me. He does have these nice hip joints, and you can see this elastic fabric right here and how that looks. Stormtrooper Coyoles. The legs can also move forward and back a bit. Move this out of the way. You do get some upper thigh rotation, even though it's tricky to move. Get those double jointed knees going, you have to shift things around, but there you go. And if you move it too much, the ankle will just straight up pop off on this guy, as you can see right there. And popping this back on isn't the funnest thing in the world, but damn it. But as you saw, it is on a ball joint, so it can move down, up, side to side, and it does have great ankle pivot. It looks like the taller Stormtrooper is standing at 11.75 inches tall. It looks like the shorter one's like a quarter of an inch shorter than him, so they're not too different in height. And here's the Hot Toys Stormtroopers compared to the Hasbro Black Series 6-inch Stormtrooper over here. And then thanks to Theron, thanks so much for sending this out. This is the 6-inch Bandai modeling kit Stormtrooper, which is actually my favorite out of these four. Here are the Stormtroopers compared to the Star Boost Armor Iron Man figure. You can see they're both a bit shorter than the Star Boost. And then here's the Stormtroopers compared to my Hot Toys Tony Stark, an average-sized human, so you can imagine him wearing this Stormtrooper armor. Then here they are next to my 1/6 scale ShartimusPrime custom. Thank you so much, David Wheeler. And of course, here they are next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Now, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, I gotta tell you, I'm not totally pleased with these figures. There's not a lot of paint detail on them, which is to be expected, but the articulation isn't what I want it to be. The torso articulation is very weak. You get some nice ankle pivot. The hands is not really so fun interchanging them, so there's all these little things that just add up that make me feel like these aren't really worth the $400. Anyway, I hope you guys liked my video. If you did, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button right over that Stormtrooper's face. Check out my last 2 videos right over there, and check out my photo gallery over at JediInsider.com. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
That's crispy.
The little button thing that the magnet connects to that came off the piece right over there. So yeah, yay, just one extra break.